Hi, welcome to the next episode of Veterans Onward to Prosperity. I'm your host, Master Sergeant Retired Anna Maria Bliven, and today's episode continues with the month of Mission, Family, Possible. And today we're going to be talking with someone who is really in the thick of things for family readiness and getting people ready for what takes place in transition when you're going from a military lifestyle to the civilian lifestyle, when you're also in a transition coming from the war to the deployment of the war. There's a lot of transitions that happen in the military experience. And today we're going to be talking about them all and how we can better be prepared to handle them. So we will be right back after these messages.
All about inclusion and really giving everyone a fair say.
Welcome to the Today Show. This is our flagship show. I am Unstoppable Tracy.
I am Zach Damon.
It is a pleasure to be here. I am excited. What is up?
We have a great show today.
Jay Stoyan here for the Disability Channel, the world's only inclusive channel for and by persons with disabilities.
Get ready to be inspired, everyone.
We have people watching from all over the world, but also all over Ontario.
We also take a concerted attention in the veterans community.
In moments of stress and trauma, we can get a hold of ourselves.
To help make a difference for people with disabilities, to show people how to love themselves or their disability.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys having me, giving this platform for myself and other people with disabilities.
Thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this episode of the Disability Channel of Detroit. Please tune in next time.
Hi, welcome back. I'm your host, Master Sergeant Retired Anna Maria Bliven. Privileged today to have in our virtual studio Joe Detre. Joe, say hi.
Hey, how you doing, guys? Great to be here.
Today we are going to be tackling family readiness like we've never tackled it before. Because you just shared that in your own family situation, there's let's just say an issue of readiness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely, man. I can tell you what, thank you again, Anna Marie, for allowing me to come on to share this important topic about family readiness. And the fortunate thing was I had 22 years of military service, retired last year, January of 2020. And then we all know what happened, right? And man, I can tell you what, family readiness, when you're in the military, is very important. Why is it important? Because it's in the name of and of itself, family readiness. And I know when we go into the military and we have to do mission first and things of that nature, and sometimes the family can get lost. And I'm gonna just be, straight and real. They can get lost in the sauce.
Yeah.
And that's why family readiness is so important. And I talked about the, 4 or 5 different things about family readiness that is so key. But guess what? And we're talking about transition. This is so important about transitioning when you get out of the military as well. When you become a veteran, family readiness is always family readiness, wherever you are, wherever your station in life is, whether you're in the military or not. So I'm going to talk about these different keys about family readiness. And I want the audience, just like us here, to think about not just on the military side, but how can it apply to you in your civilian life, in regular family life. So we're going to talk about 4 different things, all right? And it's going to seem kind of, hey, Joe, this is kind of simple, but you know what? It's simple, but it can be complex at the same time.
Right.
And we're talking about family priorities. That's number 1. And then number 2, understanding the unit mission. 3, community. And 4, communication. Man, I tell you what, those topics right there in family readiness are so important, because we get on mission first when we're in the military. like I said before, and then we can lose the priorities of the family. And then the family can seem like they're not important. But guess what? This happens almost every time when we deploy overseas, is that if the family situation is not right, guess what? The mission suffers. And it's so important because I've seen soldiers when we go deploy overseas, when I went on 2 peacekeeping missions during my time in, when the children, parents, your spouse is having a hard time at home, you can't focus on the mission. When you're on a convoy trying to take your interpreters into the war field to another unit or another mission, and your mind is not set on that convoy and the security of your people and your equipment and the people that you're taking care of, something's going to go down the wrong way. It's going to go down like fast. So number one, we talk about family priorities. I had to encounter that myself. I'm not just talking about these things and I haven't experienced it.
Right.
I got to the point where my wife and I, we got into some serious trouble in our marriage because I was going to work at 5 o'clock in the morning, and then I was coming home around 9 o'clock at night. And you know what? If you get anything out of this at all, this one thing, I'm gonna tell you guys right now, the most important thing about family priorities is, look, your job, the work, it's gonna be waiting for you. It'll always be there, whether you're on a mission at your civilian job or whether you're at your unit doing whatever, it's going to be sitting there waiting for you. But guess what? If your family leaves, that's what's most important, guys and gals.
Right.
You know, and I'm pretty sure you can attest to this. Securing your family readiness at home, making sure your spouse, your children, even your parents, whatever, understanding that they know that they are a priority. Yeah, you're contracted and obligated to do the work, right? But the work is not your life. Your life is at your home. That's what matters the most.
Joe, I'm just going to wave a wand and do a "wouldn't it be nice" statement. If in our mission planning, you know what I'm talking about, right? Before we go to do a mission, there's always mission planning. And there's a lot of aspects to that. Well, wouldn't it be nice if one of those blocks on that mission planning statement was family readiness? Wouldn't it be nice? Because that would be part of our mission planning. Well, we're definitely gonna talk more about that right after these messages. Hey everybody, join us for the Smash Party, nationwide Smash Party, to smash out all of our stress, the stress that has been accumulating for over the COVID-19 pandemic. Get it all out. Smash out that frustration, that disappointment, that anger. Get it all out. 15 minutes of smashing, and then we be calm. Breathe. Just breathe and relax. Hi, welcome back. I'm your host, Master Sergeant Retired Anna Maria Woodman, talking with Joe about mission planning involving family readiness. You know, when we were kids, we were playing a game like if I were king for the day, or if I was queen for a day, or king of the hill, or queen of the hill, right? Remember? So in just this moment of this broadcast, I wanted to play king of the day, or king of the hill, or queen of the day, queen of the hill, and how we would make a difference on this topic. Because you just told us, you know what? There is no ifs, ands, or buts. Our family has got to be priority. Got to be. And it ranks right up there to make sure that we've got all of our equipment that we need to do our mission.
Mm-hmm.
And what if in that list of equipment included our family? Because like you said, if things are not right at home, that's definitely going to impact our mission. It's going to impact our performance.
Mm-hmm.
We cannot afford that any more than we can not have enough ammunition.
Mm-hmm.
Not that we don't have enough food, that we don't have our sanitary situation, that we don't. I mean, I can go down the medal list and it'll bore everybody to tears. But you and I know that that's critical to the success of our mission. So
Yes.
playing queen and king of that of this moment, and we can change the world of what it is we're talking about right here and right now. We could save families like we could never save families before if we just put on that mission plan, that little block where we have all of our things that we need to have a successful mission. Family readiness. Are we ready? All ready? Equipment, supplies, personnel, family to do the mission.
That's right. Look, man, Anne-Marie, you're hitting on a topic that is so important right now. When we were talking in the green room earlier, I just spent time last week, with my father for his 73rd birthday, and it was super awesome. And you know what? Out of all the years, and he told us we went to South Carolina because my sister bought a home in North Carolina, and we went to Charlotte. She lives near Charlotte, and my dad loves those auto shows and stuff like that. So there was a happening auto show that happened that week, and we went over there and we just spent time with him. And you know what? Then he went back to Florida because he lives in Florida. And then he told me on the way back down, he told me over the phone, he's like, that was the best birthday ever. Because he got to spend time with family, my sister and I, and we had fun. And you know what, guys, we're talking about having a plan, a unit mission.
Yes.
A family unit mission is so important and so important. And, and by coaching business, I have a lot of people that ask me, hey, I want to strategize, I want to plan to be successful in my business, yada, yada, yada. And then I break it down to them. I was like, okay, that's great. That's great. I love that you want to be successful in business. And I dig deep and I ask them, it's like, how is your family life doing? On a scale of 1 to 10, how is your family relationship going? And you'd be surprised. A lot of them, on a scale of 1 to 10, they put it below a 5.
I would not be surprised.
And I'm like, man. And I'm like, look, the number one thing in the military, we know about training schedules, right? We schedule everything, right? And I asked them, I said, did you schedule time with your family?
Right.
No. They say, well, I spend time driving when I'm taking them to school and this and that. I'm like, no. I said, that's just utilizing time. I said, but are you planning time? And when you know what, when they come back and they finally schedule the time, they're like, their child is so excited that mom or dad said, hey, I want to spend time with you. What day would you like to spend time together? They respond quickly because guess what, guys and gals, you're out there doing that job, but they want time. They want time with you. Schedule your time.
Yes.
That's the second biggest point. For family readiness, whether you're in the military or not, schedule time with your family. It may seem like it's weird to do it, but you know what? Your family will realize they are a priority.
And that's the most
That you
important
actually
part of
care.
it.
Mhm.
Yes, that is the most important part of it. Because if they
I
feel
love
like
this
they're
topic.
being left out, oh man, it is not good.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Husbands and wives, schedule date night. Oh my gosh. Look, I protect my date night with my wife, and she knows that. Our date nights are Friday nights. And I had some clients, they were trying to schedule. I'm like, no, 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 no. And I had to get a little forward. And I'm like, look, you're intruding on my time with my wife. And they're like, oh. And I was like, you got to protect the time. Look, family readiness, boy, schedule that time. Make a schedule vacation time with the family, and do not answer business calls. If it's an emergency, I understand. Okay, I'm trying to coach you guys. Schedule the time. Wow, man, the change in the atmosphere when they understand you're making time for the family is amazing. And you guess what? You will also reap the benefits.
Yes.
You will also reap benefits.
Yes.
If I could drop a mic on that, I'll drop a mic on that if I can.
Well, how about we just put a pin in it, like my general would always say, let's put a pin in it, and get right back to this conversation right after this message. Ron salutes as a LinkedIn business strategist and relationship advisor. He's the co-author of 21 Days to Success with LinkedIn. He's a guest speaker for the U.S. Army on veteran transition. Contact Ron at his website. Welcome back. I'm your host, Master Sergeant Retired Anna Maria Bliven, talking with Joe Detre about a very, very important topic, and that is family readiness. And as he pointed out just a minute ago, it's not just in the case of a deployment or mobilization, or even a transition between military and civilian. This is constant. We cannot continue to think in planning our lives, be it military or civilian business, or even going into an employment situation. Like he said, you're working morning, noon, and night. You leave when before the sun rises, and you come home after the sun sets, and you don't plan for family time within that week. You're not going to be a happy camper, because you're in a household of a lot of other not happy campers. And so, you know what? We're trying to help everybody in the audience understand the importance, and not just that, but take action in your own life. If you haven't already made a plan that includes time with your family, well, then guess what you get to do? You know what I mean? Start taking this seriously, please.
Yeah, and you know what? I love that we're talking about this, because it's vitally important for anybody to have a successful, relationship. You got to understand the importance of priority of the family. You have to understand the mission, all right, a unit family mission, in scheduling it, spending time together. That's what's most important. Yes, bringing the money in. But the other thing is, I want to talk about family readiness is communication. All right. Communication is so important, because, and I'm not just talking about communicating with your spouse, communicating with your child. It's communicating with your unit and i.e. or your business, communicating your family situation. A lot of times when there's a miscommunication or disruption with your employment and your family life is because you're not communicating properly. Like if you have family needs, if you have exceptional family members, families with special needs, things of that nature. If you properly communicate, and this is for family readiness, believe it or not, you communicate with your job, your employer. Look, I have a child with special needs. I might need to like break away from work to go take care of this or take care of that. And look, oh, by the way, integrity, I'm still going to complete what I need to complete, but I need to take care of my family situation. And I had personally had soldiers that had families with special needs. And sometimes they had to come in late, miss formation, and things of that nature. But I knew the reasons why. And I knew, and I made it a point as a leader to be empathetic to that situation. But I also said, hey, mission, as long as you're doing what you're supposed to be doing while you're here, I don't mind. This is all about family readiness. It's not just about you, but it's also about how can you help somebody else out in the family readiness role? Because look, you could take all these things and tips and apply it into your leadership as well. As you're leading people, how can you help them with family readiness? How can you recognize maybe some gaps that they're not seeing? If they're complaining, oh, family, this at home, this is going on, da 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 da. Hey, how are you doing at home? How are you communicating? How are you taking care of family time? Look, maybe you need to take a day off, spend some time with family, because I know you've been working real hard here, doing what you're supposed to be doing. But look, you need to take some days off with the family, get some rest, relaxation, deal with those situations so you could be a better asset to the mission, a better asset to this job.
Right.
It's all about communication. It goes both ways.
I'm going to add to that, though, because we have to manage expectations.
Boom.
It may be that it could be a situation where unit is called upon, let's say the National Guard situation, right? Mm-hmm. And we just had Hurricane Ida, right? Well, we know a lot of our brothers and sisters in the National Guard in that area are deployed. Not really, they're mobilized. They're mobilized to help. Right, they're mobilized by the governors of the states. Well, it could be a little bit before they actually get home and have time with their family. Communicate that. Communicate that. Hey, yes. We are on mission, but we should be home by Saturday or Sunday of next week. And when we get home Saturday or Sunday, then we're going to spend all day Monday or the following weekend, we're going to do something for fun. You're always going to have to do some kind of planning ahead, building that expectation so that everybody stays being a happy camper.
Yes. That is so important and vital about communication. My goodness. And that's why one of the mission things that I wrote down was about understanding the mission of the unit as well. My wife, she understood. When I was working in Florida, I responded to hurricanes, and she knew because I told her when there's a storm coming, get ready because we're going to start ramping up operations and preparations for landfall if a landfall occurs, or we might have to assist another state with their emergency operations and procedures because that's the nature of the beast. That's the nature of the mission of our unit.
Right.
So again, if you're not in the military, but you're at a place of employment, what is your mission? Okay. Are you a lineman? Those guys that fix those, the electrical poles and stuff like that. Right. They're kind of rapid deployers as well.
Right.
Does your family understand that? Why are you taking off in the middle of the night? Well, a hurricane just occurred and they need me because I'm a lineman. And our employer is sending us out to another state for X amount of weeks, possibly. Be prepared for that. But you know what? Anything in life, it all takes communicating to your family for family readiness sakes, what the possibilities are for your job. Are you going to be getting calls in the middle of the night for emergency work? When I worked at a casualty assistance center in Fort Carson. And when I was a civilian, I would get calls 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning. And my wife knew, because I told her ahead of time, I'm on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Never know what's going to happen. But you know what? When I wasn't on call, I was spending time with her.
Yeah.
We were going out exploring, and having fun together, because I knew at some point in time I might get a phone call. But she also knew that.
Yes.
And before I even got the job, I told her, hey, this is what the job entails. Are you sure you want me to get this job?
Yes.
She's like, look, you know how to be an administrator, you know how to work emergency operations, and they'll be utilizing your talent, skills, and abilities to work in emergency operations. So she knew what was coming.
Yes.
So, and with that, talking about expectations, we have to make sure that we're informing our loved ones of the possibilities.
Yes.
And what might occur, what might not occur.
Yes.
So if you're prepared for the worst, you expect the best, right?
Exactly. Exactly. So I said in the very first episode of this month, it's not just us that raise the right hand and take the oath. We are taking the oath with our families.
Yes. Yes.
And they are on this journey with us.
Mm-hmm. And if you're single and you're in the military and then your potential mate, they better understand the situation. It's not how it is like in the movies and everything else like that. Like, oh yeah, all the glory and stuff that they show in the military or even in some civilian jobs. It's always good to tell your potential spouse what they are getting married into.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
But I can go down another road about relationships and before you get married, what you should and should not do. But that's probably another episode.
That's another episode. But you know what? We're going to wrap this up with your 4-point summary right after this message.
Hey vets, you know who I am. This is Ranger Johnson, and I want to help you to get the VA disability rating that you deserve. And if you want to know more about the Ranger method, please go to championsforveterans.com and schedule a free consultation now. Stay in the fight!
Mike Merwin here, U.S. Navy retired submarine officer turned entrepreneur. I turned my hobby of 25 plus years making beef jerky into a thriving small business. Made in small batches with only high quality ingredients, it's not good, it's crazy good. A portion of all proceeds helps save military lives. Order now on www.crazymikesjerky.com using code CB10 for 10% off.
Hi, welcome back. Joe, you're going to just wrap this up with a 4-point summary, and then I'm going to wrap up the rest of the episode.
Yeah. Look, just to wrap it up real quick, we talked about a family being a priority, understanding that you got to make time for them, because for them to understand that they're a priority, you have to prioritize the time. And we talked about understanding the unit mission, sharing that unit mission with your family so they can understand and have a realistic expectation of what's going on. That's a part of family readiness. We talked about communicating properly with your employers or with your unit, your family situation, so your leaders can have an understanding of what some of the things that you might need or might have to adjust to operate in your unit. Then, of course, we talked about the overall standard of having a good foundation of what you do and letting your family know what it is that you do so they can be prepared for the worst, but always expecting the best. And this works in military life. This works in your civilian life, in transitioning, be prepared. Let your family know what's going on so they can be ready.
Yes. And the more that you do that, the more you will enjoy your experiences in the military, and the more your family will enjoy their experience in the military as well.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
You know what? I just gave you a golden nugget for those that are listening to veterans and warriors. And I still always remind the warriors, there's coming a day when you're going to hang up that uniform and put the boots away for the very last time. So be prepared and get your family prepared as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they're going with you.
Yes, they sure are. They sure are. Joe, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to be on the show with us today. Thank you very, very much. And, you know, if they want to talk more about their situation with you, how do they get in touch?
Oh, yeah, I love for you guys to go to joedetre.com. That's JOE, D as in dollar, ETRE.com. And, you know, I give out free complimentary 15-minute coaching sessions. That's what I do right now. I'm a leadership coach. And if they want to sign up, I'd be happy to sit down, talk about strategy, talk about what they want to do if you're transitioning. Look, I went through a transition process. I love talking to people about how they can transition, how they can use their skills, talents, and abilities that they've acquired and learned while in the military to go out and do the things that they love to do. But yeah, I love it. Thank you for having me on. This is such a wonderful time. Thank you for what you're doing. It's so vitally important for all of our veterans out there.
Thanks, Joe. I appreciate it. And with that, after these messages, I will be right back.
Let me introduce you to Frank Sinclair. He has a business called Dream Again Business Consulting. Frank believes that you were put on this earth for a specific reason. It's his job to find out why. If we follow the natural course of your life and your story, it always leads to your purpose.
America lost 22 yesterday. She could lose another 22 today. When is enough going to be enough? At the Veterans Ranch, we work with veterans, first responders, and their families through horses. The money you donate helps us expand our programs and help get that number down to 0. Help us serve the ones that served us all by going to project20000.org and pledge $22 a month.
So there you have it, folks. It is so vitally important that you have your family, along with your journey, manage your expectations, make sure that you're communicating all the way through it, and making it so that they know beyond a shadow of a doubt that they are high priority in your life. You do all of that, you keeping all of that continuing to be a part of your family life, and you and your family will have a great time in the military experience as well as the transition that follows. So next week, we are going to continue with Family Mission Possible and bring you more information, resources, and sources so that you can have a great life and your family can too. Until then, be the best you can be.